September 1943. A cold mist hangs over a remote Luftwaffe airfield somewhere on the Eastern Front. The morning sky is silent, but heavy, like it already knows something the soldiers don't. Friedrich Stahl, only 23 years old, yet already one of Germany's most celebrated fighter pilots. They called him Der Eiserne Falcon, the Iron Falcon. To his comrades, he was a hero. To his enemies, a phantom in the clouds. To himself, he was untouchable. Each dawn he would step onto the tarmac with that same confident smirk, that same cold fire in his eyes, believing the sky itself bowed before his name. He had downed more fighters than he cared to count. Soviet Yak-3s, British Spitfires, each one just another mark on the side of his Bf-109. But when American pilots entered the war in full force, some German aces grew cautious. Friedrich? He laughed. Amerikanische Piloten, he scoffed. They fly machines built for comfort, not combat. He called them sky tourists, men who survived on luck, not skill. In the mess hall, his voice echoed with mockery. Some younger pilots listened with awe. Others feared his arrogance would one day bring doom upon him. But Friedrich Stahl didn't believe in doom. He believed in domination. On that cold September morning, as mechanics fueled his Bf-109, he ran his hand across its metal frame and whispered, "Let them come. I'll send them home in flames." He didn't know that high above the clouds, American fighters were already waiting. Hunters, with their eyes set on the Iron Falcon. And before the day ended, Friedrich Stahl would learn that even the sky has a way of humbling those who dare laugh at death. The rise of the Iron Falcon. Long before that September morning, Friedrich Stahl had already carved his name into the sky. At 19, he entered the Luftwaffe as a quiet, disciplined cadet. But the silence didn't last. Once he touched the controls of a Messerschmitt Bf-109 for the first time, something inside him awoke. He wasn't just flying. He was conquering. In his very first combat, he shot down 2 Soviet fighters in under 3 minutes. They said his reflexes were beyond human, that he moved before he thought, that his instincts were born, not trained. With each mission, his legend grew. Der Eiserne Falcon, the Iron Falcon. A hunter who struck with surgical precision, a shadow in the sun. His comrades admired him. Commanders praised him. New recruits feared disappointing him more than death itself. He carried himself like a man chosen by destiny. His every step echoed with a rhythm of certainty, the rhythm of victory. But victory, when tasted too often, becomes intoxicating. And Stahl was drunk with triumph. He began to believe no enemy could outfly him, that war was merely a stage, and he, the star destined never to fall. Even as whispers spread of new American fighters entering the European front, faster, more powerful machines equipped with deadly .50 caliber guns, Stahl only grinned. He would stand before maps, tracing flight paths over enemy lines, smiling coldly. "They say the Americans are coming," a fellow pilot once muttered nervously beside him. Stahl simply lit a cigarette and replied, "Let them come. If they can fly, they can fall." Every time he walked toward his aircraft, ground crews watched in silent awe. He didn't rush. He didn't show fear. He walked like a man who believed the sky belonged to him. But the sky serves no man forever. High above the clouds, a new predator had already taken flight. Painted in silver, armed like thunder, and hungry for blood. A predator the Iron Falcon had not yet faced. The North American P-51 Mustang. And soon, Stahl's arrogance would guide him straight into its crosshairs. The hunt begins. The sky was clear that afternoon. Painfully clear. A perfect day for predators. Friedrich Stahl climbed through layers of thin white cloud, his Bf-109 humming like a metal beast beneath him. The sun glared off his canopy, painting his face in gold and arrogance. Radio chatter crackled. Enemy bombers spotted, escorted by American fighters. Mustangs likely present. A whisper of unease moved through the squadron, but Stahl only smirked, tightening his gloves as if preparing for sport. "Stay above them," he commanded. "Let them climb." We strike when they're desperate. He believed in altitude, in the feeling of being a god looking down upon mortals. Minutes passed. Then he saw them, tiny dots on the horizon at first, growing larger, wings glinting in the sun like blades of light. The Mustangs, sleek, fast, silent in their approach like wolves in formation. One of the younger German pilots whispered over the radio, "Mein Gott, they're beautiful." Stahl replied coldly, "They burn just the same." He dove. His Bf-109 screamed as it plunged toward the American formation. Gunfire erupted. A Mustang pulled away from the group, rolling with liquid precision. Stahl followed. He was faster in the dive, more experienced. His heartbeat drummed with confidence. "I have him," he muttered. He lined up the shot, fired. Tracer rounds cut through the air, but the Mustang rolled away effortlessly, almost as if it had predicted him. Stahl frowned. He chased. The Mustang banked left, then right, then climbed sharply. No Soviet ever moved like this. No Spitfire danced like this. He gritted his teeth and followed the climb, but the Mustang kept rising, almost mocking him. The echo that never left him. Friedrich Stahl survived that mission, but the Iron Falcon did not. In the days that followed, he flew less boldly. His dives were cautious, his turns hesitant. The smirk that once lived permanently at the corner of his lips was gone forever. He no longer mocked the Americans. He no longer believed the sky bowed to him. Some said he was ill. Others whispered he had gone soft. One evening another pilot approached him and asked, "What happened up there, Stahl? Why don't you chase the enemy like before?" Stahl stared ahead, silent for a long moment, before finally whispering, "Because now, I know someone out there is better." The other pilot laughed nervously, thinking it a joke. Stahl did not laugh with him. He continued flying, but never again with arrogance. Sometimes during patrols he would glance toward the western sky, as if expecting a silver Mustang to appear at any moment. And though it never did, its shadow lived in his mind forever. When the war ended, Friedrich Stahl quietly vanished from history. No great final battle, no heroic last stand, no martyrdom. He lived, but he lived with a truth that weighed heavier than death, that even the greatest hunter is only one heartbeat away from the coming prey. Final impact line as the screen fades. He once ruled the skies with laughter, but the day he met the Mustang, the laughter died, and fear learned his name.